Executive Director of Neurospicy SA. Our mission here at Neurospicy SA is to empower neurodivergent adults to overcome social isolation and by promoting awareness, independence, respect, inclusion, and equity. We connect individuals through peer support, inclusive community events, and educational opportunities for that foster belonging and personal growth. And these are the topics that we will be discussing. Right here. So 1 in 5 people are neurodivergent, meaning they have some kind of mental condition that makes their brain operate differently than the norm. This could be autism, bipolar, OCD, ADHD, PTSD. Oh yes, thank you. So anybody whose brain operates differently than the norm is considered neurodivergent in that way. Let's see. Among the many people who are neurodivergent in the San Antonio area, neurospicy, or that's another fun way of saying neurodivergent, neurospicy adults have the fewest resources. Once a neurodivergent individual turns 18 and exits high school, their resources just vanish. There are many structured resources for children and teens, however, the main resources for adults tend to be therapy related. Here at Neurospicy SA, our vision is to forge a society where neurodivergent adults in the San Antonio area feel connected, supported, and valued. Through inclusive programs, strong peer communities, and environments that nurture mental health and overall well-being. A majority of our resources and services require participants and attendees to be neurodivergent and adults, ages 18 plus. Some of our resources, which we will go over some of them, include the adult socials, Neurospicy networking, Common Ground peer group, special events, and our Neurospicers on Air radio program. In addition, Neurospicy SA resources are free. Our services explicitly address this loneliness and social isolation many neurodivergent adults face, and we create regular opportunities for connections with others with similar experiences. The first program we want to mention is our most popular service and our first one, the Neurospicy SA Adult Socials. The Adult Socials provide safe, supportive spaces for neurodivergent adults ages 18 plus to build friendships, reduce social isolation, and strengthen mental well-being through peer-led programs and community engagement. Our first year was all about the Adult Socials, as this was our main service. We hosted 80 plus events, gained over 230 meetup members, and around 35 people regularly attended our events. We have been hosting events for over a year now. In addition to the Adult Socials, we now provide neurodivergent networking as of this month. Neurospicy networking events provide safe, supportive, and professional spaces for neurodivergent adults to meet, talk with, and build relationships with other neurodivergent adults. The purpose is to make connections that can lead to career advancement, business opportunities, or the exchange of information and resources. We meet twice a month on Thursdays. Next, we have the Common Ground peer group, which also started this month. Common Ground peer group is a free and peer-led support group for independent, low support needs adults ages 18 plus who have experienced symptoms of mental health conditions or mental health conditions. Participants can gain valuable insights and information by hearing about challenges and successes of other attendees. The group is led by a trained peer leader who has similar experiences and conditions. We meet every Saturday 4 to 5 times a month. We expect to work towards a brighter social future for neurodivergent adults in the San Antonio area Some of our goals are to file and pay for a 501c3 nonprofit status in June or July of this year, and get more funding, so we can offer even more services under Neurospicy SA, and continue offering our current programs. One of the future free programs we want to provide is the Peers for Young Adult Social Skills course for neurodivergent adults ages 18 to 35, starting in May or June this year. And then I didn't include this in my speech, but I have a little time. I wanted to tell you why I started this organization. I started this organization first of all because I myself am neurodivergent. I don't mind sharing. I've got bipolar, I've got autism and OCD, and I didn't know where to go to find other people that think like me and make friends with. So I'm like, what can I do? Like, there's nothing out there for adults in the neurodivergent community for socializing. I'm just stuck at home trying to figure that out. So I started the Neurospicy SA Adult Socials. Before this group, I lived in a group home for people with autism who were learning to become more independent. So we had a life coach that lived there with us, and she trained us, like coached us on things, life skills. And she had the Friday socials at her house where we were. And so people would come over and we'd celebrate, have pizza, and spend time with each other and make friends. But the group home shut down in 2024. I had to find another apartment. So I started this up in my apartment originally once a month. Now we do it 2 to 3 times a week. Like, we meet up for just the adult socials. Almost every day last week I had something going on for Neurospicy SA. So thank you so much for letting me speak here today, Launch SA, and for listening, everybody. I will now take any questions or comments or like feedback that you have. A couple of the questions I want to ask in particular are, how could I get funding and seem less recreational as a nonprofit for the services I provide? Because we're worried about the adult socials being recreational to grants. And then, does anyone know anybody who could be a mentor to me for grant applying? Because I need to start doing that. I have no idea how. So if anybody knows anybody who would be willing to mentor me, I would love to learn. And welcome any other questions or comments right now. Go ahead.
Meredith, so what is your actual costs? Like, you talk a lot about finding funding, and a lot of early stage nonprofits kind of focus on those grants and those funding sources early on. But what are your actual costs, and have you put together an operating budget to describe what those look like?
Yeah, I have it in a document somewhere. Right now, our current costs include, the $625 you need to pay for nonprofit fees. It also includes our pizza that we. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the whole form, just so in case we do make over the certain amount, we're able to in the first 3 years, So some of our costs include pizza and refreshments for the socials we have on Wednesdays. Sometimes we serve food to the people that attend. Other costs include Google Workspace as of this time, but whenever we become a nonprofit, that might go away. We also pay for Meetup. There's no discount as a nonprofit for Meetup, but that's definitely a very important resource we have. And then on top of that, we get activities like games and karaoke microphones and paper and printing, advertising materials, pretty much anything you need to advertise, such as my business cards. I want to get more T-shirts eventually, so that I can either sell them or basically give them out to my volunteers that I have. We have a couple volunteers now. But those are only some of the costs. There's also.
But like ballpark, you're looking at like what, $5,000-$10,000?
Yeah, for starting. Yeah.
Okay.
I also want to get insurances as well when we become a nonprofit. That's like another few thousand. So yeah, something like that. I know that pizza is around $800 a year because we get from Costco. What?
Pizza can get donated once you're a 501c3. Like things like that. Like you'll just.
I didn't even think of that.
Receipt. Like a lot of that stuff will be donated. But if your operating cost is only a few $1,000, $5,000-$10,000, there's probably other ways you can achieve that other than grants, because grants take a lot of time, they take a lot of paperwork, and just winning the grant doesn't keep you compliant with the grant, right? Depends on what those payout milestones look like, all of that. I don't know, something to think about alternative revenue sources.
Yeah. We get donations, like, I'm not gonna go into that, but we did get a bunch of donations towards our meetup funds. I said I don't have enough to pay for it, and people donated for that because there was a need. But yeah, so I would love to learn more about what you have to say at some point, like about what kind of funding it would be. I do know that there's like sponsorships and other things too. I'm open to learning more about that as well. I'm familiar with where to go for resources. I know nonprofitready.org is the one that I've been using, but I already finished the fundraising course and it's not helpful. Does anybody else have any other questions or comments? Go ahead.
First, I want to congratulate you for getting this and finding this need. I work in Comal ISD, and we have a school where we have a lot of students that are neurodivergent, and one of the pieces that they've asked for, what does happen to us once we graduate from high school? And if there's an opportunity to maybe build a bridge and there be some kind of mentorship, so there is that transition phase for the students as they transition into the real world. I would love to connect with you.
I would love to connect,
and get something going. So, but I just want to commend you for getting all of this.
Thank you. One of the other things I also want to do is go to talk to high schools and talk to the senior classes. So if anybody has any connections with the high schools, wonderful. Then yeah, I would love to just share the resources, have people refer the young adults to me. People turning 17, I can 18 in like a couple months. I can do a speech at their school, in the classroom, or say it online, however. But I do want to reach people that are turning 18 because young adults really thrive in this group more so than the older people. Maybe because we started as a young adult group. But yeah, so I would love to learn more and connect with you later about that.
Anything you're doing on the social media side?
Yes, we have Facebook, we've got Instagram, Nextdoor, Meetup. I'm thinking we have.
What's y'all's Facebook?
Just called Neurospicy SA. It has the same logo right here.
Okay.
What was your question, ma'am?
Actually, it was a comment revolving around the last question. Here in San Antonio, your leader revolving around nonprofits and grant readiness is the San Antonio Area Foundation.
Yeah, I looked into them. They cost, and I don't have a lot of funds to pay for it.
Okay.
But I'm looking for maybe someone who can take a couple days out of the month to talk to me about it.
Okay. Yeah. Before I leave, make sure I give you Nadine's info because they have certain stipulations, but you can still get. There's a window for you to have a meeting to have that discussion as well, especially with this concept. So
I would love that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Does anybody else have any questions, comments, or concerns or anything?
Got time for one more question? Or two more questions?
I was just curious. Those people in the picture, are they your members?
Yeah, they're the attendees and our meetup members. So this was at the central library when we did our program.
Nice.
And I'm the one with the black dress in the middle. That was some of my goofy members. Go ahead.
So I think on your last slide, or the one before that, there's something about teaching and learning how to essentially be within that context of coming out of high school, going into the community. How do you go about that teaching process right now?
What do you mean by teaching process? Can you rephrase the question?
Yeah. So if I remember correctly, that's what it was on the slide, right? You had something about learning and teaching, or am I incorrect?
I think you may have been thinking about the social skills course.
Yeah.
That one? Okay, so that is so I have someone studying the book right now. It's an all-in-one book, and Texas A&M San Antonio offers this course too, but we will be offering it for free compared to them. But it's basically there's two different groups that are learning. The social coaches, which can be family members, friends, individual life coaches, anybody who they trust, and the young adults learning the other part of the course. They're going to learn social skills through this book that has all the information for the instructor to tell them, including homework assignments and everything else. So yeah, that one, that's a course that's going to be coming in May or June for young adults 18 to 35 that are neurodivergent, mainly closer to autism conditions.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for coming.